right, folks. Hey, what's going on? Roland Martin here, RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. So, over the last couple of months, we've been live streaming a lot of different videos and a lot of different things like that. And so I have not actually done any videos myself because we have been so busy putting this whole. Actually, I'm double checking the audio here. Okay, so we work. Okay. All right. So I have been busy. Putting all this sort of stuff together, getting ready for September 4th, our launch. And so I have not done any videos like this, and so I've been so busy, but I had to do one. So I just finished watching this clip from The View today, where Meghan McCain and Joy Behar got into this whole back and forth over Alexandria Cortez, and oh my God, is the Democratic Party embracing socialism? And I've watched a lot of these different news segments, and I've watched how media has played this thing. And frankly, I've actually been sickened by the hysteria because it's a familiar pattern in terms of what they do. So let me explain to you how mainstream media works. So when someone like Alexandria Cortez comes along, the media goes, "Oh my God, rising star!" Because what happens? She upsets a longtime incumbent in Joe Crowley. And so they then begin to go, oh, does this now mean that the entire Democratic Party, every candidate, is going to be like her? And so then they start putting the label rising star and, she's going to change the whole party. We've seen this numerous times again. So this is what they have to do. They got to, first of all, pull back. Actually, before I go there, you also got to understand, she won in New York City. New York City is the media capital of the world. And so people in New York somehow think that, well, what happens there then applies to the rest of the country. And so then they go bonkers. So she's on different shows, and she's going here, she's going there, which is all good. And let me be clear, I don't hate her. I think she's great. I think she's wonderful, because what she did was she ran the campaign the way you're supposed to. She worked. She hustled. She went door to door. She hit subways. She did all of those things. That's what she did. Okay? That's what she did. So for all these people who are tripping, who are mad and upset, here's the deal. You cannot apply one primary win in a single congressional district to the rest of the country. It happened with Conor Lamb. But remember, Conor Lamb didn't win in New York. He won in Pennsylvania. And so you don't have the same heat, the same intensity. So here's the question. Does Conor Lamb winning now mean that's what every other Democrat is going to do in and around the country? No. Do you know why? Because congressional districts, and I need all y'all to listen to me, congressional districts are not national elections. They're not even state elections. They are elections made up of approximately 700,000 people in a congressional district. That's what they are. So what happens in a Conor Lamb district is totally different than what happens in an Alexandria Cortez district, which is totally different than what happens in a district in Texas, and one in Louisiana, and one in Alabama, and one in Georgia, and one in Iowa, and one in California, and one in Washington State, and one in New Mexico, and one in Wyoming, and one in Florida, and one in Illinois, and one in Michigan, and one in Vermont, and one in Maine. It's totally different. So let's think back, 2016. Tremendous showing by Bernie Sanders. Okay, how many people running on a platform that Bernie Sanders endorsed, calling himself a socialist, how many of them won primaries? I'll wait. See, media gets caught up in socialist, liberal, progressive, conservative, when in fact, it's nonsense. But see, it's the hype. So then a group of Democratic moderates got together. Oh my God, they're taking over the party. No, they're not. Because you got to win. You got to win. And so you have this mass hysteria happening. And so media is playing this game that somehow, let me also say this here. Cortez hasn't won the seat. She won the primary. Now, clearly it's a Democratic district. She's favored to win. But she hasn't officially won. So she's not an actual member of Congress yet. But again, people automatically go, rising star, could she run in 2020? It always happens. I see this all of the time. What she is doing, she's a 28-year-old Latina who is inspiring other people. And that's great. She's telling her story of how she won in that district. That's great. All of that is wonderful. And it's exactly what we should be covering. But what media should not do is somehow project what's happening in one district is not going to sweep the rest of the country. And so that's the game they're playing. And look, maybe that's why they won't book me on a show, because I'm not all caught up in all the drama. But y'all, don't buy the hype. Don't buy any of the hype that you're seeing on cable news, because it's hype. Don't buy the hype that you're seeing on broadcast news, okay? In order for Democrats to win, they're going to have to run different people, because who you run really is based upon the district. Some districts are going to be heavily immigrants. Some of them will be heavily Latino, heavily Hispanic, heavily white. Some will be liberal, some will be moderate, some will be conservative. You're going to have, so it all depends on the district. You can't say in Cortez how she ran and her platform is going to work if she runs somewhere else in the country. In fact, you can't even project that somehow her platform, or even that of Bernie Sanders, is going to be appealing to win the Democratic primary for president in 2020. You simply can't, because the country is made up of different regions and different interests. Now, the enthusiasm that Cortez has brought to the party is amazing. It is no different than when you had Tea Party folks who were running as well. They were running as insurgents. They were running against business as usual. But don't allow yourself to get caught up in the media hype and to say that, oh, this is just, oh my God, this is just going to somehow just change everything. It's not. It's not. She's one candidate in one congressional district in the state of New York. That's what it is. Her campaigning for others, great. That's fine. But it doesn't mean every candidate is going to be that way. So I really wish these media folks would calm down and chill out and stop playing the boogeyman with, oh my gosh, she's a socialist, and how are you going to pay for all this sort of stuff? When just today, Donald Trump is going to propose $12 billion in emergency funding for farmers who have been hurt by his tariffs. Where are you going to get that money from? No, seriously, I want y'all to think about this here. So, we're blasting Cortez because of her thoughts about college education and funding our public schools. But then we can't find money. But they're proposing $12 billion for farmers who've been hurt by Trump's tariffs. When if you don't do Trump's tariffs, then the farmers don't get hurt. And you ain't got to spend $12 billion. Y'all see how the game is being played? Y'all see how this thing goes? And so I just want you to understand. See, this is why I'm launching Roland Martin Unfiltered. Because the hysteria that we're seeing in mainstream media is nonsense. This is why we're launching it on September 4th. Because somebody has to explain this stuff. And it's not drama. And it's not, oh my God, the world's going to end. No, it's some basic